Hello Internet, welcome back to another episode of Pokémon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. In the last episode, the only Zigzagoon I have doesn't know Rock Smash now. I had to put Surskit in the party for something in a future video. Anyway, last time we fought Gabby and Ty and a bunch of other trainers here on Route 111, and this time we are going to be heading up to Route 112 and going through the Fiery Path, hopefully reaching our next destination. So, there are a lot of Pokemon that appear both out here and on Fiery Path, and to be completely honest, it's going to be in our best interest to start going over the bios as soon as possible because there's just so many. It's going to be good to go over them, so we are going to start going over the Pokemon that can appear here and in Fiery Path in just a minute. First, though, once we actually continue along and reach this... Oh, there's a backpack. I gotta fight everybody. I'm sorry. It's just in my nature. We'll get to the bios, I promise. I'm working on it. Backpacker Emery. That's a good name. I don't think I've ever seen it spelled out like that. I think I've seen E-M-E-R-Y. I've never seen E-M-O-R-Y, but I like that name. That's a good one. I'm gonna, like, put that in my notebook for names to keep in mind, which I do have. Which, I guess I'm outing myself a little bit there. Whatever. Who cares? Taylor's dead. Even though I lost, I feel refreshed. The backpacker in this game just looks so chill. I think it's the same design that he uses in X and Y. He looks like the chillest dude ever. Hi, Brendan. So, it's you, Aura. You see that mountain up there? That's Mount Chimney. Thanks for the thumbnail. I don't know, but seeing it for real is like a punch in the gut, you know? Hope I might get to take the cable car up to the top someday. Hey, Aura, doesn't your team seem a bit worse for wear? They have taken no hits, but sure. I went to the Pokemon Center for nothing. Your team's health was restored. And why don't you take this? HMO4 Strength. This is an This is an 80 power physical normal type move with 100% accuracy, no added effects. It's okay. A lot of Pokemon can learn it, so it's a good filler move. I bet you can find all kinds of ways to use it in the mountains that lie ahead. Oh, but it won't work out here if you don't have a badge from Lavrich Gym. Bah, this is no time to be giving you tricks. I'm supposed to be heading to Fall Arbor to visit Professor Cosmo right now. See you later, Aura. Next time, let's have a battle, okay? That is the wrong way to Fall Arbor. Brendan? How'd he run so fast? Okay, well, whatever. We are on Route 112 now, so let's start going over the wild Pokemon that can appear both out here and in the upcoming Fiery Path, because there are a lot of trainers to fight. Numel, or Nummel. I really don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced, because the name is supposed to be a mix of Num and Camel, but there's no B, which, from my understanding, is what makes Num be pronounced like Num instead of Noom, so I got no idea. Numel gets Simple as an ability, which is, simply put, one of the best abilities of all time. It doubles all stat changes, meaning moves like Curse or Amnesia turn Numel into an absolute monster when it's able to get itself going. A funny idea to pair with this, Numel gets Ancient Power as an egg move. Get the Omni Boost, and all of Numel's stats go up by 2 stages. However, when Numel evolves, it will lose Simple in exchange for Solid Rock. Don't get me wrong, Solid Rock is still a great ability, making its Water-type weakness less devastating, but it does mean missing out on an ability that I think is even better. Otherwise, there's not too much interesting to say about Numel. Numel will learn Lava Plume and Earth Power before evolving, and those will be its main attacking moves for quite a while. Not a bad thing, but outside of increasing its own bulk, and especially after evolving, you'll definitely just be using the same few moves over and over again. Coughing may surprise you, and I recommend using one if you never have before. Levitate allows it to switch into ground-type moves, its bulk allows it to stick around against physical attackers for basically as long as it wants, and its attacking stats are even enough that it can use many, many moves really well. It gets Clear Smog at only level 15 to erase an opponent's attempts at setting up, and Sludge Bomb at level 34 to deal solid same-type damage. And of course, it only gets better after evolving. Moves like Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, Shadow Ball, Will-O-Wisp, Dark Pulse, and obviously its signature Explosion make Weezing a surprisingly competent pivot into many opponents. It's not going to be dealing the most damage ever, obviously, but it is a type coverage beast with bulk to support it. It's also surprisingly fast for a Pokemon that looks like that, so it can often speed tie or outspeed other Pokemon with middling speed, which I'd say is probably about half the Hoenn Pokedex. Weezing is fun. Again, I recommend using one if you never have before. Grimer is less good. Its low speed and low defensive stats leave it vulnerable to a lot of opponents that Coughing would be able to easily stay strong against. While it may seem like having a move pool on par with Weezing's would give it some bonus points, it loses out on that based solely on the fact that it can't use special attacks for beans. The best recommendation I could really give is to breed for one that knows both Curse and Shadow Sneak, which are both egg moves to bulk itself up and then go for priority with Shadow Sneak. And yeah, I don't have much nicer to say about Muck. Same things apply. It is notably specially bulky where Grimer was not, allowing it to do pretty well against special attackers and strike back with a pretty strong poison jab, which it only learns through TM, otherwise you're stuck with Gunk Shot, but it's unlikely to stand up against a strong ground type opponent. Use it if you like it, but honestly, Weezing really is just sort of better. Slugma sucks. An absolutely tiny speed stat paired with absolutely nothing defensively results in it being unable to move first and knocked out in a single hit by most things with a pulse. And it doesn't even evolve until almost level 40. This thing feels like a joke. Luckily, starting from Pokemon Emerald, it has a saving point. Both of its standard abilities half the number of cycles it takes for an egg to hatch, meaning it is extremely useful as an incubator, I guess? Magcargo is not much better than Slugma. Its defenses are better, but it's got a 4 times weakness to both water and ground types, and its special defense is sort of only good enough, leading to it still taking massive damage from special attacks when paired with its low HP. Its speed stat is also only 10 higher than Slugma. I'd recommend using it the same way as Slugma. Use it to speed up hatching eggs, not for fighting. So, we're coming up on the move relearner soon, and Torkoal can learn Shell Smash as soon as we reach them. Shell Smash decreases defense and special defense by 1 stage in exchange for a 2-stage increase to attack, special attack, and speed, which Torkoal can utilize with its decent mixed attacking stats to be an absolute menace against many opponents. You may think its ability White Smoke will prevent those stat drops, but unfortunately it doesn't prevent self-inflicted ones. Using a White Herb as a held item is one way around this, but that isn't an easy item to come across. Torkoal's speed also sucks, so even with that boost, it's not necessarily going to outspeed many opponents, but it does make Torkoal hit like an absolute truck, and it's worth considering. Torkoal even gets considerable type coverage through TM to support this strategy. Solar Beam, Earthquake, Sludge Bomb, Rock Slide, Stone Edge, Explosion. There's a lot of options open to this little tortoise. I was considering using a Torkoal on my team for this LP, but ultimately I just decided it was too slow and bulky. That doesn't mean it's bad though, it can be fun to use. Machop can have Guts or No Guard for the ability. Either is excellent, both are better than its hidden ability. Take your pick of ability, and Machop will evolve at level 28. And Machoke will evolve by trading into Machamp, who does all the same things, but better. I do want to say that in general, for single player, I recommend No Guard, because Machamp has some fun moves to use when it's not able to miss. Dual Chop is a rare Dragon-type move this early on at only level 33. Knock Off can get rid of opponents' held items, as if they use held items that can be knocked off in single player. But the real fun comes with Cross Chop and Dynamic Punch. Cross Chop is just a raw power move, but with only 80% accuracy. No Guard increases this to 101%, meaning it can't miss. Dynamic Punch is a 100 power move with only 50% accuracy that is guaranteed to confuse the opponent. The downside with this is that Machamp won't learn it until level 57, but it is well worth the wait. Machamp is also bulky enough to take hits, which is pretty useful for a Pokemon this slow. Plus, No Guard makes it so everything hits Machamp as well, so the bulk is necessary. Pair this fact and its great moves with your choice of Bullet Punch or any of the elemental punches as an egg move, and bulk up to make Machamp even stronger, and yeah, there will barely ever be a Pokemon that can withstand a hit from this guy. Sorry if I'm giving you the wrong idea by catching Pokemon while the bios were going on. I really want to catch a Slugma just for future eggs that I hatch in this series, but Slugma just won't appear. I've seen, I think, everything that appears in here other than Torkoal and Slugma, so I'm literally just waiting on those two, and I guess when I encounter Pokemon I haven't caught already, I just want to catch them anyway, because I'm going to need to eventually. Faster to just get them out of the way now. Especially sorry if you thought Carbon was going to be a team member. The coughing I caught, I literally just caught it and named it Carbon because that's what I named my coughing in my old Pokemon Emerald Let's Play, where I actually did use coughing. As I said, if you've never used a coughing, you should use a coughing. Oh, I should say, while bios were happening, Puff tried to learn Force Palm. It's a 60 power fighting type move with, I think, a 20% or 10% chance to paralyze. It's okay. It would have gotten the boost from Technician. I just like Puff's moves the way they are right now. All right. I've been here for like 10 minutes trying to catch a Slugma. I'm gonna just call it. I'll come back to the Fiery Path once I'm like... I didn't fight you? Okay. Well, anyway, I'll come back to the Fiery Path once I'm done putting the coughing I caught in the PC. Just, like, I'll catch a Slugma if I run into it, but I don't think it's worth staying in there another 10 minutes, and yeah, I'll just catch a Slugma later. It's fine. There is something up on... Oh, got a revive, okay. Way to interrupt me immediately. There is something I meant to show, but I started going over the bios too early. There is a reason we can't just keep going north on Route 111. The northern half of the route is a desert with a vicious sandstorm. Lord knows how this just exists out here in the middle of this, like, grassland, volcano, mountainside area, but it sure does, and we can't get very far in there because we can't see through the sandstorm, and we'll get sand in our eyes, and we'll die and all that, and just bad stuff all around. So we have to take a detour along Fiery Path, and Team Magma is blocking the cable car to get up to Mount Ember, so we won't be able to get to Lava Ridge down that way. All in all, just sort of everything is combining to make this an even longer exploration, which is fine. I've said in the past how I think Hoenn's routes feel more like an adventure than any other regions, and yeah, this is an example. Hiker Trent, who is just outside of Fiery Path, will give you a big mushroom 20% of the time following a rematch. That is an item that has no use outside of selling, but still, it's pretty nice. It's similar to getting, like, novelty Pokeballs from rich boys and bug maniacs and catchers, all that, so yeah. Now we're back out on Route 112 on the northern side, and we're going to fight this guy. I'm not such an amateur that I'm going to take it easy just because you're a kid. I don't know what the hell that accent was. I was trying to go for, like, New York, but it did not end up that way. Jalen. I think I knew a Jalen once, but I don't remember him at all. Well, whatever. This guy's a Mightyena. It didn't have Intimidate, so it probably has Quick Feet. We're going to knock it out in one hit with Mach Punch. Ah, I love this team. We knock out everything in one hit. That was the work of a pro. There, now he's more Gumshoe. You're a pro, huh? Yeah. This tree has raspberries. These are only useful for making Pokeblocks, but also you may recognize them if you've played Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, because they have a better use in that game. I say better, but I mean it's a use that works within that game's systems, is what I mean by that. Going to replant our berries, as usual, even if I'm not going to check them for 20 years. Yeah, we did get Persim berries, which heal Confusion. I'm just going to do more Lum. Lum is just basically better than any other status healing berry, because it can heal literally any status. It's just good to have a lot of them. Alright, now continuing along Route 112, that's a Numel. I still haven't caught one. I tried to catch one, it broke out of the ball, and then I ran away, so I guess I should try while it's here. Our search level for Numel is also probably pretty good because of that horde, so we could be encountering like a shiny Numel if I'm really trying to, which I'm not, but, you know, we could. I'll throw an Ultra Ball. I really don't want to try weakening it because I think I'm just going to knock it out. Puff is just that strong. One thing I should say about Persim berries that we just got, Healing Confusion is really good for Pokemon who like to spam Thrash, Petal Dance, or Outrage, and you might want to have a Persim berry specifically just to avoid having an opponent inflict paralysis and then wasting the Lumberry on that or something. 16 times we've encountered Numel already. Numel, whatever. Okay. I'm gonna nickname you Numble. Numbell. It's like Beldum, almost. We're back out on Route 111 now, and yeah, we can head south to that same desert from here, but there's nothing we can do because the sandstorm is vicious. But it is there, so we can go there eventually, maybe, if we have the right equipment. Show me how much you've toughened your Pokémon. This guy. Ace Trainer Wilton. We're fighting Ace Trainers now. Ace Trainers used to be called Cool Trainers, and man, I just think that is such a better thing for them to be called. I prefer Cool Trainer for Hoenn specifically. I think it just fits a lot better with this region being very early 2000s, and we'd call them a Cool Trainer. We're not calling them an Ace Trainer, unless we're British. I think they call things that are cool Ace in UK, maybe. I don't know. Sorry, British people. I'm like generalizing all of you as I usually do, but yeah. I know they do call things Ace there, and yeah. I kind of just wish they brought back the name Cool Trainer for this game specifically. Because there's no way it doesn't fit in a character limit or something. Like, they didn't need to change it to Ace Trainer. It's just Ace Trainer now because it was Ace Trainer in every game up to this point outside of Generation 3, but man, these guys don't look like Ace Trainers to me. They'll always be Cool Trainers. I think it's especially because Pokemon Coliseum also carried over Cool Trainer, and that was my first Pokemon game, so yeah. You know how it is. Anyway, continuing on. Hello? I can smell it. I can smell it right here. The scent of adventure. This is definitely one. It's gotta be a secret spot. There will be enough space here to build a crazy super place, or my name's not Arun. Yo, my young Pokemon trainer. What can I do for you, Huh? What do you mean, you didn't ask for anything? Bet your heart did. Now, no need to be shy. After all, we managed to meet. Reference to the credit song from X and Y? The name's Arun. Put her there. Unova born and 25 years old. You're 25? Am I gonna look like that next year? Spent the last 11 years trying to find myself. Since you were 14? Just a vagabond in search of dreams. I'm wandering around Hoenn trying to find a place where I really belong. That's right, a super secret base. You don't know about secret bases? What kind of life is that? Too bad, little sis. Time for a little lecture from Uncle Arun. Let's start with what a secret base is, which is adventure, romance, awesome. For real, it's the best place ever to chill. You, your pals that you let hang out. Since you got this chance, you ought to learn how to make one. Take this. TM94 Secret Power. Okay. This move will allow us to create secret bases, obviously. Also, it just does different things depending on your location. Type, effects, all that. Secret Power can help you find the entrances to hidden places. These entrances, they're full of adventure, all right. That's why I like to throw some spice in there and call them secret spots. Like this, see? This right here is a secret spot. Doesn't it look like you could just climb right up in this tree? This is exactly the kind of place to bust out with secret power. Oh yeah, I never get tired of that. Now that's all there is to finding secret spots and creating the entrance to a secret base. This move is crucial to having a secret base, don't forget now. Not a bad layout. See, behind each secret spot, you'll find a space like this. They come in all kinds of shapes and sizes. So basically, whenever you find a secret spot, you ought to at least check it out with secret power. Just think, someday this place could be somebody's secret base, all decorated and filled with goods and friends. I'd really love to see it like that. Wait a sec, but who in the world are you? Ah, right, Aura. Sorry about that, I just got on such a roll. So then, Aura, how about I give you one more tip? When you feel happy about something, you ought to express that feeling. Put it into words, it'll cheer everybody up. So, how about you tell me, huh? Come on, tell Uncle Arun what you say when you're totally thrilled. Yay. Yay is very funny to me. This is one of those things that's way funnier because I think of it specifically in fucking Penny Snapcube saying it like, yay! That's a little too high-pitched, but you know what I mean. I don't think I say yay when I'm happy, though. Cool beans. I'm known for saying this. Cool beans. That's good. You know why I asked you that? Isn't it obvious? It's because I can see already that there's plenty in your future to feel happy about. That's just how we roll in the secret base life. Every day is full of happy adventures. Oh yeah! Whew. Now I could go ahead and make a secret base right here, but I get the feeling that this layout could be even better for you, little sis. I'm gonna leave this spot for you. This will be your secret base from now on, little pal. It's yours now, so decorate it, destroy it, do whatever you want. Whatever floats your boat, right? Oh, right, decorating. See, any decorations you get will be sent to the PC in your secret base automatically. Place them around and liven up your base a bit. That there's a PC. That's where you'll find your decorations. Not that you probably have much, right? Here, I'll give you these to get you started. Decorations from Arun. Nice. Oh, right! One last thing. You can do more than make your own secret base. You can visit other people's bases for a bit of fun. If you find a base that belongs to someone else, check it out. And there's the real point. When you check out someone's base, collect the flag you find next to the PC. Something good might come of it. Looks like it's about time for me to hit the road in search of my perfect base. Goodbye for now, but hopefully I'll see you again, Aura. If you need me for anything, try dropping in at the Secret Base Guild in Fortree. Arun is a former Pokemon Ranger from the Unova region. You can compare his design to Pokemon Rangers from that game, and yeah, it's pretty much one-to-one. He just looks a little bit more disheveled. Yeah. So using secret power allows us to create a secret spot in any conspicuous-looking tree, wall marking, or clump of grass scattered around the region. So we'll be keeping an eye out for spots that look particularly good for that. He did give us some decorations to get started, and we also got some while we were in Mauville. So we are going to decorate our base now. And we'll select our location for something. And we got a small desk from Arun. We'll put that in front of us. That's where we'll be when other people come to our secret base, and people can meet with us in that chair. And we'll have the surf mat over us. Nice. Oh, we can't put it on the table? Why? We shouldn't cover ourselves up. You're not going to want to cover yourself up in the secret base to a point where nobody can talk to you. Comfortable bed. We'll go there, because that's a pretty good place for it. We got the globe while we were... Oh, that is literally just the globe that's in every Pokemon Center in Pokemon Black and White, and I can't remember the feature where you choose the location on the globe that you're from, but it's literally basically the exact same model, and that makes me so nostalgic. That's gonna stay in here for life. Posters you can only put on walls. We can't put it perfectly behind us because it's only 2 tiles, and that sucks a little bit. You also can't rotate it, so you can only put it on your back wall. You can rotate most other types of items. We'll put the Trico. Trico can go on a desk at least. That's good. And these guys can just go here by the doll, or by the globe, you know? We have a worn out light. That can go by the bed, I guess. You're seeing that I'm really not that good at decorating stuff. And we can just do fences now. This is the best game ever. You get to place fences in a house. I mean, it's not really a house, but it's basically a house. They basically just give you your own house that you can decorate however you want, and I think that's really neat. So, secret bases are remarkably complex in this game, as you can probably see just by how much can go into decorating in the first place. So, yeah, you can use these to essentially build your own gym. This is something fans have wanted to do in this series for a long time, and I don't see many people talk about how cool this is anymore, but back in the day, people loved this. This is easily the best that, like, creating a secret base has ever been in a Pokemon game. And, Yeah, I'm real happy about it. These mats that we started with that I'm moving around are a little bit interesting. We'll go over what exactly they're for later on. I'm not going to talk about, like, extensively what a secret base is for quite a while. There's just a point when I think we'll be better for it. But this is the second major thing Street Pass can do for you. The main way to populate the Hoenn region with secret bases is to Street Pass people who have bases of their own. By doing that, you'll be able to encounter their secret base along the way on your journey. If I notice a secret base during this Let's Play, I will explore it. Once again, I want to invite you to use NetPass on the Nintendo 3DS to collect Street Passes over the internet. This will give you the chance to Street Pass me. I announce when I'm logging on and what place I'm selecting within NetPass every recording day on both Bluesky and the Winternet Discord server. And it will also allow you to Street Pass with many more people in the year of our Lord 2026, which is nigh on impossible in the real world these days. So yeah, I recommend it. Secret bases are a lot of fun, and I'm going to be keeping an eye out for spots that I think would be cool. By the way, I'm going to share my secret base. And you can now scan this if you want to stop by my base. However, since this is in one of the most default spots, you're probably not going to, like, you might have a secret base here. You'd probably want to set it in a different spot so you can actually get here. But yeah, I mean, feel free to use this. Every time I change my secret base, I'll update the QR code because that's, I'm pretty sure, how this works. And yeah, you can also send me a QR code for your base if you want me to, like, visit it during the Let's Play. Just tell me where it is, and if it's a place I've already been, maybe I'll give it a visit. Who knows? Anyway, that's all for this aside for now. Back out on the route. Going to leave our secret base behind for now. There's a cut tree. Zigzagoon doesn't have cut anymore because of the daycare. That's the issue with the daycare. I want to keep the highest level Zigzagoon with me because it'll get the best items, but, like, they took off all of the HMs and other moves that Zigzagoon already knew because she gained so many levels while she was there, and yeah, she's basically unrecognizable now, and I have to reteach her HMs every time we need one. Anyway, can use cut in this tree. This just gives us a way around all the trainers on this route, basically, which, I mean, I'm gonna fight all the trainers anyway. But this house is a rest stop.
Oh dear me, aren't you and your Pokémon exhausted? You ought to stop and rest a bit here. Yes, indeedy, that's exactly what you should do.
Indeedy's not from this region.
That's right, take your time and rest up.
Now, if you're just mashing the A button...
Oh dear me, are you and your Pokémon still tired? You should take another little rest here. Yes, indeedy, that's what you should do.
She will keep having you rest here if you mash the A button. She literally punishes you for doing so, which is very funny to me. It's one of my favorite little things in this game, is just, like, you can get stun-locked with this lady if you don't read what she's saying. It's a nice way of making an old lady punish you for impatience, which... Whoa, neat transition. I also meant to show you can heal your Pokemon in your bed in your secret base, and Arun gives you this bed for free. That's a full party heal, and you can just make a secret base on basically any route if you can find a spot for it. So if you don't care about decorating your secret base, you can just use it as a full party heal if you want. How about that? It's kind of funny, honestly. I do like that. Anyway, there are trainers to fight out here. So, yeah. We already talked about the Ace Trainer thing. That's at this point in my notes is when I wrote about how I missed the cool trainers. But this is a Fairy Tail Girl, and this is a trainer class that was introduced in X and Y to be the main trainer class for Fairy-type Pokemon. Although this one only has one Fairy type and is leading with a Psychic type, so much for that, I guess. They're more just associated with the color pink, I guess, but they're typically going to use Fairy types, like the Smawile, which is almost not pink at all except for inside of its mouth. But okay, whatever you say, game. Why were we dropping frames there? Was Mawile too intensive for the new Nintendo 3DS XL? I get it. Mawile's too intensive for a lot of people. Okay, there we go. Take that out easily. Yeah, I was going to say about the old lady, if you just mash A, like, the developers of this game pretty clearly thought Kaepora Gaebora was the funniest thing of all time in Ocarina of Time, because he does the exact same thing where if you just mash the A button, he'll keep explaining the same thing over and over again to you. Just so you know I completely missed that muddy slope for no f***ing reason. I'll come back to that in a future video, I promise. I just wasn't thinking about the mock bike, I guess. We're going to get Rost Berries here. These are berries that heal burns, as well as Nanib Berries, which are only good for making, with a very low chance of making, pink Pokeblocks Plus. So, yeah. We can also talk to this girl once a day, who will give us a raspberry. Only a raspberry. Always a raspberry. It's not a list of things she can give us. Anyway, there's one more trainer to fight here, and as you can see by that sign, we're actually about to head on to yet another route. Yeah. We're going to fight Ace Trainer Brook first, though. Cool Trainer Brook, if you ask me, but whatever. I do like the designs for the Ace Trainers, or Cool Trainers, in Hoenn, in both the original and in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, although I do think the design is improved in these games, which is the case for most trainers in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, honestly, with one notable exception that I'll get to, but that's going to be a pretty big hear me out, I think. Cool Trainers always just look like sort of athletic, I guess, which makes sense to me for, like, people who take battling and training their Pokemon very seriously, which Cool Trainers tend to. I know somebody left a comment when I talked about how certain trainer classes feel like evolutions of other ones, where a developer said in an interview at one point that Cool Trainers are basically the evolution of youngsters and lasses, or beauties are the evolutions of lasses, but Cool Trainers obviously become experts or veterans, and yeah. I guess they did think about that, but this is the first game, really, where it feels that explicit. Anyway, heading west of here is Route 113. It's my favorite route in the Hoenn region, and it's tied for my favorite route in the entire series. Next time on Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, that's where we're going. See you guys then.